So we are now joined by Taylor Holder. How are you today?
What's going on, man? I'm doing great. What about you?
Really, really good. And
Let's
this is
go.
an interview that we've been so excited for.
Dude,
Um,
thank you, man.
so like everyone back home, like even if they don't know country music, definitely knows who Taylor is as well.
For real?
Yeah,
Dude, I've never like made my way out there, but I always wonder, I wonder if they know me out there. I wonder if they like, you know what I mean? So that always goes through my mind. So that's cool to know.
100%. Like everyone knows who you are across there.
Yeah.
So, like for the people that might not have heard of you before, who is Taylor Holder?
Taylor Holder. I'm just kind of all over the place, man. I'm a, social media guy. I'm an artist, a little bit of everything. Singer, songwriter, influencer.
And before you started your music, well, whilst doing your music, you were like a massive star on TikTok and social media. Can we talk a tiny bit about that and how that came about and like how you were well known for that?
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, it came about so randomly, man. Like I was just making videos back in Texas with two of my best friends at the moment and God just started moving a bunch of mountains, man, and we ended up all moving out to LA together at 18 and just like going for it. We didn't even really have any success. We were just like we didn't have that much. We just went out there with an idea and a dream and we ended up meeting some awesome people and the TikTok app came around and it was so funny because I was so against it, man. I was like, oh, like all my boys were like, you got to get on this app, it's blowing up, and I was like, dude, I can't. It's so cringy, man. I can't do it. And let alone here we are now, a couple years later, I hopped on it and I was doing all the cringy stuff as
Yeah,
well. But it's a blessing and a curse, man. It definitely got me to where I am here. But stepping out of it to try to do like country music, whenever that's not how I got known, it made it a little tough for sure.
and so like when you stepped outside of like the TikTok and like all the sort of dances and videos that you put out, how was like the sort of country scene taken to you and to your music?
So the actual country scene, like moving to Nashville, man, like it's so crazy because I mean a lot of people also don't know. Like I grew up like team rope with my dad. Like I grew up like in this environment. This is home to me, but I blew up in the very LA like city vibe. I was
Yeah,
adapted to that lifestyle for quite some time. So I'm just back home now, man. Like we're going through that. But the actual like Nashville environment and all these like people that I've looked up to for my entire life in country music, it's so cool to be able to like call to my friends and see such like great support by them. Like a good friend of mine, Dylan Scott, I'm going on tour with him this fall. Like
yeah.
he's bringing me with him, and just to like be so accepted by people when I've been here for such a short amount of time has been so amazing. But the public eye, like I said, I was like this TikTok kid, so being accepted by them is taking a little bit longer. It's taking a little bit of nudging,
Yeah,
But that's where I'm just like I'm patient, man. I sit back. I'm like, over time, the music will speak for itself.
and
So
that's it. And like the more you wait, the better things come as well.
absolutely.
And so do you think like with that social media background as well, do you reckon that has helped with the music and like your views and pushing music out?
Absolutely. I think it helps, but not as much as what people think it is, right? So I always tell people, and this was told to me, and I didn't never like really understand because like being an influencer and being in that big environment, so at such a large scale, I'm so used to like millions and millions of views on
Yeah,
everything, right? Whenever you go to the music side, that doesn't always convert over to streams. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like a big newsflash. You're like, okay, wow, this is actually starting from more ground zero than I thought I was. Because I hate saying it, but like this isn't. I blew up as like a hot guy on the internet. I didn't blow up as like an artist. And so trying to do that is people are always like, oh, you're a TikTok kid. You should just stay in your own side. Like don't even like da da da. You're shit. You're the. So it makes it hard, but it's not exactly the most converting thing you
I
would
think
think.
it's a good thing as well because I'm a huge boxing fan and I know that you
Oh
did like
yeah,
boxing.
yeah,
And like when all these YouTubers come into boxing, it brings a new audience in. And like I
dude.
know some of the
I was
hardcore
between
fans.
me and you. No one has said that. No one knows about this, but I was supposed to fight July 22nd here in Nashville, but my guy backed out, so I'm not fighting anymore.
Right?
But I was training. Yeah, I've been, dude. I always tell people too. I'm like, I hate that was the public's like first, um, eye of me like fighting right in the public eye because in camp I was sparring Canelo, I was sparring Ryan Garcia, I was sparring like all these people, and like I was like looking really sharp, man. But no one can understand like whenever you get out there. How did that? I don't even know how that started playing. um, but no one can like understand what it feels like to go out there in front of like 30,000
Oh yeah.
people, and like I walked out there, and I'm telling you, like my heart just completely fell out of my ass. Like I just completely froze up, didn't know what to do, and it was just something like you can't train for. So, but I like that you're a fighting fan, man. It's
Oh yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. I've
Do you
got
fight as well a little bit?
no, but I've got like tattoos. I've got Tank on one leg, Eddie Hearn on the other, Floyd
Dude,
Mayweather.
Eddie's a great
I
person,
love
man.
him, and he's so good for boxing.
Yeah,
Um, but like talking about going out in front of 30,000 people, like you've suffered in the past and still do with like stage fright.
so bad. Yeah, I always tell people because everyone's like, "That's so crazy." I would think that you would be so good, dude. Going to bars, going to anything public, like honestly, the social media side of everything, you would think with how public my life is, that I'd be like pretty good with that stuff. You know what I mean? And used to it. But honestly, I have like the worst like public anxiety, stage fright. Like I think it's also because like of how like TikTok is so judgmental. Like everyone is so mean on there, you
Yeah.
know, without even knowing these individuals. And so with how judgmental it is and how open it is to like getting so many people to see you like mess up, you know, is it's a scary thing, you know, man.
And do you think that's getting better the more like shows that you perform?
It is getting better. You know, once I get out there, I'm always like, I always have this like really like scary like bug in my stomach right before I go on stage, and I'm freaking out. I'm usually shaking, and I usually after I get through about the like halfway through or through the first song, I'm chilling. I kind of start interacting with them. I can hear them like cheering for me, so it's just like it makes me feel a lot better, you know. So I just get out there. Everything. It's so funny because like even though you're thinking about like killing it, you're also thinking like, oh my god, like what if I just absolutely just torch this and just mess up everything, you know. So it's just there's so many things going through my mind.
And going to your music, like one of our favorite songs, "It's You." Like,
Ooh,
like that's one of ours. So like, what is that song about?
issue is like it's about meeting that girl at a very like also like low point in your life. You know, like this girl might have like been used to like all like the super fancy things and a fancy lifestyle, and it's just kind of saying like speaking from like I kind of wrote that more about like a younger me whenever it was before all this stuff where I didn't have all like these big houses and fancy things that like a lot of like this girl might have been used to, but I had like me, you know what I mean? And like I know that like I can love like my love can like make you feel just as good as that, you know. So that's what that was about. But I like that you like It's You, man. I
I
think you guys are really gonna. I have some new stuff coming out. I have a song coming out at the end of this month on June 30th. It's called "Time in This Truck," and it's super like if you like It's You because it's a little bit more fun than my most stuff, you'll really like this one. It's straight up a summer song, man, and it's I got the chance. I'm sure you probably have these questions to ask me about the new music, but I was I wrote It's You with a couple of my buddies and all that stuff. But like I got to work on this project that I'm working on right now with like really great writers out here in Nashville, man, and it is just absolutely taking my writing and my songs to the next level. So this new stuff's gonna be really awesome.
so well before you like started all your social media stuff, you were writing music back before that.
So I wasn't writing music because I didn't even like really know how, like you know what I mean, like I always loved music. I picked up a guitar when I was 9 years old. My grandma bought me my first guitar, um, and I played that. I was learning just like the stupid basic chord, just learning like basics, and then picked up drums a little bit. Then I started playing piano, played saxophone in school. So I just all around like loved the idea and the creative side of music. But I grew up in this super small town called Alvarado, Texas, man. It's like 40 minutes south of Dallas. And there's like nobody there that really like did what I was doing, right? Like the social media side or music. Like we had a couple, but so I didn't really know how to make music. And so going out to LA, how are you? Going out to LA, um, getting that success, I got to meet up with some really awesome people, artists, producers, all that stuff, and kind of get in the studio and just like feel it out and like
Yeah,
figure out like, do I even like this? Like what is it really like to make a song? And let me tell you, I made some really shitty music at first, you know what I mean? Just figuring it out.
yeah.
But I fell in love with it. And I was like, man, I'm not the greatest at this, but I freaking love it, man. And it is so much fun being in here just creating. So I just kept doing it, man.
And do you feel like being in Nashville, like your writing skills have got better because like
Oh,
there's so many people out here and so many like creative inspirations and
dude,
everything?
absolutely, man. It's like even when I thought I was like somewhat doing it right, I came out here and like obviously everyone has their own like style, but like it just showed me like how much work I have to do still
Yeah,
and like learning. And that's what I love though. Like I love like constantly like evolving and never being satisfied and like bettering myself every day. So being in the room with some of these greats, like, I got to share the room with like Parker McCollum or like Shay Mooney with Dan and Shay and all these people, to share the room with these people and like to see how they bounce off and work it was honestly the most surreal thing I could have ever seen. So,
I take my hat off to you because like going into like something completely different, throwing yourself right in the deep
uh
end,
huh,
and again like you did with the boxing, like it takes a lot of like balls and guts to do that.
absolutely.
So it must be a pretty scary experience.
Oh, dude, I was so nervous, especially like Shay Mooney. I tell people this all the time. We were talking about because my buddy John right here, he was in there with me. We had the session at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, singing at 9 a.m. is just not ever
Yeah,
ideal. And so I went in there. I was already nervous because it's Shay, obviously, and granted, he's such a freaking cool guy, man. He's so nice. But I, I just go in there and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna be quiet over here for a minute. I'm just gonna let them do their thing. I'm gonna see how they. And he started singing at 9 o'clock in the morning. he actually, like, hands down is vocally one of the best male vocalists I've ever heard in my life. His voice is insane, and I was like, I'm supposed to sing after that. Like, I'm supposed to compare to this right now. Like, ain't no way, man. So, but it was cool.
And who would like your dream collaboration be on a track?
I would say my apps, I got a lot of like favorites. I got a lot of people that I really love and some cool friends that I got. But I would say probably like an all time like dream of mine. I've loved him for such a long time. I look up to him as well. And then getting to meet him was even more awesome and seeing the person that he was. But Luke Combs, I would say Luke Combs is definitely my like dream collab. I freaking, he's inspired me on a lot of the music that I write and make. And, eventually I would love to start making, more music kind of like inspired by him
Yeah,
and based around that vibe and stuff. So
I don't think he writes a bad song at
no,
all.
there's not one. And even if it's like he could be saying the dumbest things in the song, and his voice is just so good, man. And just like I don't know, it feels like he's telling a story without even telling a story. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's just a skill in
It's
its own.
yeah.
Something that like not many people do. But one like duet that you've sort of done before, and this is like not country related, but Conor Maynard.
Oh, the one that I did with
Yeah,
Connor.
that was
You
unbelievable.
liked it,
Yeah,
man,
it
dude.
was really
Thank you.
good.
Yeah, dude,
So
Connor. That was another really cool opportunity that I got to see because I've looked up to Connor. I saw him and like Williams and all these like guys like Alex Ayano and all these people that were doing those at the very beginning and all that stuff, and they were crushing it. And I was like, man, that'd be so cool, man. And I ended up hitting up William, and I got in contact with William, and we talked about doing one, and then me and Connor started talking as well. And at first, we were just gonna do like a little 30-second one on TikTok, and he's like, you know what? I haven't done one in a long time. Like, let's do one on YouTube. Like, I haven't posted one in like a year. And I was like, that'd be freaking awesome. And he was like, I'll put it together. We'll do this. And dude, the way he does that, it's also cool. Like a lot of people didn't know this, but it looks like we're in the same area.
yeah,
I was in LA and he was in the UK whenever we filmed it. We just filmed up against a white wall, and he made the microphones look like they were behind one another. And like, he's super talented at what he does. Like how he puts all of them together. It was really really awesome to see that.
it's amazing. And so, well, finally, you said before that you've got like new music coming out. What does the rest of 2023 got in store for yourself?
Absolutely, dude. This is gonna be a wild ending to the year, man. I'm dropping my first ever EP. Like I said, I got a couple songs coming out before, but in like the next like 2 months at the most, we're shooting for is we're dropping a 6 song EP. So lots of new music. I'm super excited for all these songs. And then we just announced a couple of days ago that I'm going on the road with Dylan Scott this fall. So we'll be on the road from like beginning of October to like end of beginning December. So just getting out there. This will be my first tour, hitting the road, just getting to really interact, perform my music. It's going to be a dream come true, man. So
That's going to be really cool.
it's going to be hard to top it next year. So,
And how's CMA Fest been for you so far?
dude, this is like the first day that we've kind of been getting started, but I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. So I can say it's already been a wild one. It's been long. So
And have you got many performances this week?
I have one. I have two tomorrow. I have one for CMT, an acoustic thing, and then I have tomorrow night. I'm playing at the Hard Rock stage at 8 p.m. So that one will be really awesome. And then Saturday I play at the Wild Horse Saloon for the Country Goes Global.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think we're coming along to that show as well. So
Oh yeah,
we'll see you
dude.
there.
Heck yeah. Which one? The Hard Rock one or the Country Goes Global?
Yeah, that one.
Awesome. That'd be sick. That'd
Yeah,
be sick.
it's gonna be really good. But well, hopefully, like one day we'll get you across to the UK and get some shows.
I was literally telling John, I was like, dude, we got to go over there. You know what I mean? I don't even, I have some friends over there and all that stuff as well. But I was like, we got to get out there and just see what they're talking about. I hear so many great things over there. But yeah, I want to go.
Talking to many different people, they say like the audiences are very different. Like in the UK, they sit, they like listen to your music, listen to your lyrics and stuff, and it's more like of an intimate sort of gig. Even though it might be a massive arena, it still feels very intimate.
Absolutely. That's what I like to do with my music, man. Like I know, like, and I take this with pride too. Like I know I'm not the best vocalist ever. Like I know I'm not the greatest singer, but like what I really hold close to me is like the stories that I tell in my music. Like I'm really good at like painting a picture.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone will see that in this new project that I have coming out, and just I know we make good music overall. So.
Well, country music's all about storytelling.
Absolutely, that's why I love it so much. Man.
And that's it. You might not have to be the best singer, but if you can stress a story that people can relate to, then
that's all it is, man. Is connecting with the people listening. That's all it is, man.
100%.
If you can do that, you win.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking to us today. It's been an absolute pleasure to finally meet you.
Absolutely.
And enjoy the rest of the year.
You as well. Thank you again for freaking support and everything, man, and following the journey. I really appreciate you guys a lot, man.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
And